In place after place, all sorts of things are being painted pink. Belfast Lord Mayor has even dyed his hair.
The beard come off as well.
And as for the sheep, well, let's just say they don't seem to be jumping for joy at their new look. It's costing Northern Ireland millions of pounds to host the first stages of the Giro. But television coverage of the race will be a chance to show off spectacular scenery, including the coastline near the Giant's Causeway, to hundreds of millions of viewers around the world.
It's cycling, it's not snooker. You see the landscape. It's a bit like golf, only you see even more of the landscape, and that will showcase Northern Ireland.
The sport itself is enjoying a surge in popularity. Some members of the Phoenix Cycling Club rode a stage of the Giro route last weekend, and it wasn't easy.
It's very tough, and we weren't even going probably a third of the speed that they'll be going around that course. And it just makes you realise just how fit those guys are.
If these guys were footballers, they'd be playing for Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. And one of them.
So snacking on a common or garden BBC presenter didn't seem high on their priority list, which was a bit insulting in a funny kind of way.
Much of the war was fought in Ukraine, but it's also very controversial. Ukrainian nationalists, or just Ukrainians in general, also remember what happened after the war when Soviet power was re-established. Hundreds of thousands were deported or killed. So it has people on both sides of the barricade remembering a great deal of pain, but also wanting to honor their dead. And of course, this creates a potential for a flashpoint.
David, thanks very much indeed. That is the view coming from Kiev at the moment. Let's get back to the position in Moscow itself. Our correspondent Steve Rosenberg is there for us. Steve, the day could hardly be better in terms of the blue skies and the sunshine for showing off what Russia's got, and indeed Mr. Putin soaking that up, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, just a few seconds ago, in fact, President Putin walked behind me. He was meeting some of Russia's senior military commanders, shaking their hands, congratulating them.
You're rejoining us here on BBC Breakfast. Apologies for the short interlude. We had a fire alarm in the building. Now let's take you through the main stories this morning. Time is 8:07.